Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you a couple of very useful applications in Forex trading. Um, these applications are, I feel that they're actually essentials. They really help to to really help us to really simplify what we do in terms of other details that that we have to pay attention to in the course of trading. And of course, the first one I'm going to be talking about is going to be my FX book. Of course, we have Trader Assistant, we have FX Hours, and of course, we have FX Journal. So I'm going to start with my FX book. Now, let me launch that. Now, my FX book actually have a number of usefulness, like for example, you can actually use my FX book to if you can actually connect it to your MT4 or your MT5 account. That actually helps you to really track your activities, your trading actually. And of course it really helps you to keep tab on what you're doing, whatever it is you're doing right or not, the number of pips that you've actually garnered in the course of your trading, the number of your losses, more or less like a journal, and it actually gives you a real time stuff about that. Now, another um yeah, so if you just click these three lines here, that is exactly where you have your menu. All right. Now, the first, I mean, the of course we have signals. That's not exactly what we're going to be talking about. Let's just look at calendar. Now, you need to understand that in the forex market, um, there are there are things, or there are news, there are economic activities that really push the market. There are, I mean, economic activities. There are news from central banks of nations or from the governments of nations, the policies, the interest rate. Those are the things that really really actually push the market. Now, you want to be aware. You really have to, I think it's going to be in your interest to be aware of the news that is going to be released in a particular day. Okay. Now, each of the news that are released every day, they have different impact or expected impact. Now, let's look at as at the time I'm doing this recording, it is actually Tuesday, January the 17th. All right. Now, of course, the following day is going to be Wednesday. Now, right here, you can actually see that there are a couple of activity that's actually marked here. You have okay, let me just scroll a little bit to the top so that you can actually see what I'm saying. I think a number of activities actually went on Tuesday 17th. Now, look at this. Now, you have a CPI that is actually happening at in Europe. You know, I think this is actually going to be uh, 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 Netherland, like what I'm saying now. The color looks more like a Netherland color or something. Now, the next one is actually card. That is Canada. When you say card, it's talking about Canada, and of course, when you see USD, wherever you see USD, it's talking about United States dollar. Now, you see that the activity that was expected was already here. Now we are taking this Canada part. housing starts. Talking about December housing starts. Now, what impact is it meant to have on any any forex pair that involves um Canadian dollar? Now, you expected that it's going to be medium, okay? It's not going to be more like an high impact like that. It's going to have a medium impact depending on the kind of depending on whether it is positive or it is you know it is probably not up to the expectation of what is actually what is expected to be released. Now, for you to actually have to take a look into what is actually happening there, all you have to do is just to tap that. Okay, now when you tap that, it simply just brings you that okay, a house start is defined in Canada as the commencement of construction work on the building in which the dwelling units will be housed. In most cases, this refers to the stage at which the concrete, on and on like that. Now, what was the verdict? The verdict was that it was worse than expected. It was what worse than expected. Now, these are some of the things that people who use fundamental analysis, they actually put together to really make their decisions about certain traits. Okay, now, so anywhere you see the green bar, it is low is actually written in it. It means that that kind of news is expected to have low impact on the market. Wherever you see medium, which is yellow, it is telling you that it is expected that the news we should have a medium impact on the market involving that particular pair. Okay, now inflation rate. Let's look at this one. Inflation rate, why year on year, like December and all of that. Now you see I in red, in the red bar just in front of it. Now, anytime you see high, it is actually telling you that that is an high impact news. High impact news. Now, um, except if except you are really very good at using a fundamental analysis to to actually make your trading decision. I always tell my students, or personally, and of course, personally, I don't trade news. I don't trade news. I stay away from the market when news, are expected. When I impact news are expected, okay, I simply just stay out of the market at those periods. So that is why if you're not trading fundamental analysis, you're not using fundamentals as such as this news, such as this economic news. If you're not using this kind of analysis to make your own trading decision, please, anytime there's going to be high impact news like NFP, like FOMC, like CPI, please always stay out of the market, because when such news are released, the market is usually goes very volatile. Okay, it goes very volatile. It moves as price moves really very fast because the big boys, the banks, the hedge funds, the people that actually, the institutions that actually that have the big money, they simply just step in and pump a whole lot of things, and they can actually do whatever it is they have to do in seconds. So you don't want to be you don't want to be on their wrong side when they're making such fundament, such trading decision based on the fundamentals, such as what we are looking at right now. So checking the calendar is actually one of the, the economic calendar is actually one of the main thing on FX, my FX book. Now, so another part, another thing is like is about the news. You can actually get news of what is actually happening across, the economic news actually now, that's actually happening around the world now. Another beautiful feature of this app is calculator. Now there are a couple of things that you just have to do, and one of the most important thing when you are planning a trade is actually determining what your position size is going to be. Of course, in another tutorial I've actually taught you how to do that using manually using a formula, but you may not really have all of the time to start doing the calculation manually. All you have to do is to take up your phone and just launch MyFxBook. Go to calculator and right here, what you have, the first thing here is position. Okay, and in this drop down there, that is where you're going to change to your whatever pair that that you are that you want to trade, that you want to find position for. Talking about position sizing is talking about determining what is going to be the lot size. After determining what your risk is, when you have determined that, okay, fine, I'm risking 0.5% of my account, I'm risking 1% of my account, and let's say, for example, you have a $5,000 account and you decide to risk 0.5%, that is going to be $25, right? Okay, now let's say now you want to trade GBP and GBP hot, that is pounds against Australian dollar. Now your account size is required, so let's put in 5,000, just for the sake of this of this work. Now you said stop loss in pips, so let's assume that we have determined that our stop loss is going to be 8 pips, for example. Now the next thing is that what is going to be our risk ratio. We decided that our risk ratio is going to be 0.5. Okay, that is all that is needed. Okay, that is all that is needed. And the next thing we're going to do is to click calculate. All right, so it's to click calculate. Now if you now scroll, you will see lots. Okay, just right down there, you will see lot, that is 0.45. It means that if I have a setup that is giving me a stop loss, of 8 pips, and I'm risking 0.5% of my account. And in this case, let's assume that I am trading a $5,000 account. So I'm risking 0.5 of that. Now, you can see that in money terms, what I'm risking is $25. Okay. And what I'm trading is going in units is going to be 44,724. But the lot size that I'm going to put in that particular trade is 0.45. Really very easy, really very easy. So it means that I can always go back to whatever it is I'm actually doing, and I can go back to my MT4 or MT5, and do plan my trade without lot. Okay. All right, so the next thing is actually the pip value. There we have margin, Fibonacci, pivot point. Fibonacci and pivot points, they're actually tools that we can actually use. The people use those tools, in their trading decision. Okay, risk of ruin, compounding, drawdown, leverage, profit. This is actually another one feature that I really love. Of course, they can actually work, just do whatever it is you need to do around, just check out those features. But you may just want to, like, okay, look at the profit side. Now, so let's say that, for example, our we're still trading GBP, or that's a pounds against Australian dollar. Now, um according to what we did there, our trade size is going to be what? 0.46. All right, let's say, for like the example we just did the other time, that we have is 8 pips top, and and the lot size for that kind of trade is going to be 0.46. Why? Because we are risking only 0.5% of that account. In other words, we are not risking any more than $25. So the appropriate lot size, since we don't want to lose more than $25, so the appropriate lot size for that trade is going to be what? 0.46. All right, so we want to use that information to to calculate what our profit is going to be in dollar terms. All right, so let's say, for example, it's going to be a buy. Let's say, just for example, we actually going to be buying, and we're going to put in what is going to be your entry point, what's going to be your entry price. All right, that is the hope price. That is, at which price are you going to enter the market, and at which price are you going to exit? That is, are you where at what point do you intend to to close the trade? So let's say, for example, let's just change this to 6. All right, so let's say, for example, you are actually going to 600. Okay, so let's say that, for example, your take profit point is going to be you know is going to be 1.76000. That is going to be your close price. Then if you click calculate, it means that you're going to be getting, the result is what? The result is $74.89. It means that on that particular trade, you are looking forward to get 74.89. When you are risking $25, you are looking forward to that your profit is going to be 74.89. It actually helps you to really calculate things really very fast. So I really love this. I really love, so you can just walk around, just walk around it and find how much this can be useful for you. All right, thank you.